welcome to Boring Money, Rich Life. I'm your host, Joy Hicks, and today we're going to talk about realized and unrealized income. Realized income is profit that you receive from assets that you've sold. So let's say that you had a home that you bought for $200,000, and then over some time, it's appreciated to a value of $400,000. Now, that profit of $200,000 that you received, that is considered realized income, and that would be taxed through capital gains tax. With unrealized income, it is still profit, but it's profit from assets that you are currently holding. So let's say that you have a stock that you bought for like $50 a share, and then over some time, its value has appreciated to $250. So that additional $200 worth of profit, it is profit, but it's unrealized income because technically that $200, it could increase, it could decrease. So you're not going to be taxed on it because it's not yet realized. You haven't actually sold that asset. It's still growing, so it is able to grow tax-free. Now, think about why the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. The poor stay poor because they live off 100% of realized income, and that is through a salary. So every 2 weeks, they're receiving 100% realized income in the form of a check. And that is why the poor pay so much in taxes, is because all of their income is realized. Now, think about a millionaire. Typically, the average millionaire is living off of 7% or so of their wealth. So that means they're only realizing about 7% of their income, whereas the remaining 93% of their income is being held in assets. So their assets are still appreciating in value and they're still generating income. They're just not actually selling those assets. So let's say you have a millionaire who is worth about $3 million, but that millionaire is only living off of $200,000. Now, although that's still a very high amount of money to live off of, technically they're only realizing about 7% of their wealth, and then they're keeping the remaining of their income in assets. And so that's why a lot of millionaires, they actually care a lot more about net worth than they do income. So when you talk to the average American, they're like, okay, I need a job where I'm making six figures. I need a job where I'm making $100,000 or more. When you think about a millionaire, they're like, okay, I need an asset that is bringing in cash flow, but I need something that's going to appreciate, but I can actually hold an asset. It's two completely different mindset shifts because, again, the regular American, they just want a high salary, but they're not realizing that that high salary is taxed higher because it is realized income. Whereas the millionaires, they know that in order to build wealth, they have to minimize their realized income and maximize their unrealized income because they understand that the more that they spend, the more they have to realize, and the more they have to realize, the more they have to pay in taxes. So, in order to build wealth, you have to understand that the tax is on income, not on appreciating assets. So, in order to actually build your net worth, you have to heavily invest in assets that either appreciate tax free or kind of like tax protected real estate or something that is going to give you an asset that will appreciate in value without you actually having to pay so much in taxes. So, again, it's going to be very important to understand the difference between realized income, which is taxable, and unrealized income, which is not taxable or taxable at a lower rate. So, as always, what is one boring thing that you can do today to start fueling your rich life? Again, I'm your host, Joy Hicks. Thank you for watching and be sure to like and subscribe.